Good evening. Today is our 17th session and we have September 19. My name is Violetta. I'm a psychic. My son will be asking me questions that I don't know about. I'm just having some idea what the subject will be. And today will be about North Korea. Yes?
That's right, yeah.
And that's it. Because I can't notice the questions that way. I'm just producing a picture or little video in my head and I will explain you what that means. Whoever is sending me those pictures is amazing. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so it's on the North Korean threat. And the first question is, what is Kim Jong Un's overall state of mind during this time of increased hostility?
He feels like he is in a corner, but somehow he feels that he can expand the corner. It's like he's choosing to be in a corner of the room. So the walls are behind him. The walls are probably Russia, China and Russia, because they have a little border with Russia through the Vladivostok. In a corner, when there is earthquake, if you are not hiding under the table, it's best to be in a corner. I don't know, I think he is still thinking that that's a safe place. And then there was a goblet hanging from the wall, from the ceiling. Silver goblet. It's like a symbol of some mystery, something that the goblet is really hard to understand in this situation, but it's a little goblet with no visible strings or anything hanging there in front of him. He's in the corner, and I believe the corner that the protection from the walls from China and Russia. Somehow the goblet is connecting me with times of King Arthur, but I don't know what that means. And again, to the viewers, if you understand what that means, please share with us.
Well, maybe he's pushed into a corner and he has some sort of goal that he has in mind.
It could be a goal. And goblet, the goblet is mystical, so he has some mystical powers because the goblet is hanging there with invisible. He feels that he has some mystery in front of him that he's focusing on. He doesn't look too scared because he feels that the walls will open and it will flatten. So maybe he thinks he will be open the walls with South Korea somehow. That will be his goal probably. But the goblet is a real mystery.
Well, let's keep going. All right. Sun Tzu wrote, "The supreme art of war is to subdue your enemy without fighting." He said, "Build your opponent a golden bridge to retreat across." My question is, what effect will the sanctions imposed on North Korea have?
Oh, he will be sending more rockets. He will be showing his power more, even that the power is more obvious. It was like tons of rockets going one after another. He's not scared of that. He's not. It looks like that's what he wants to achieve.
Well, it kind of seems like they've taken out
everything.
Everything from him. He's got nothing else to lose,
And
So,
he wants to show how powerful he is, so the West will have to negotiate with him.
yeah.
And the rockets were so many of them, and they were like flowers, blooming, blooming, blooming everywhere. No, he is not afraid of it. He's more...
Are they blooming like he's building them, or are they
No,
blooming
they
like...
were going to the air. But there were so many, you can't even count them, one after another, and they were like flowers blooming everywhere.
That light shut off behind you.
That's unusual.
I think I saw a flicker, and I don't think it's anything miraculous.
No idea.
The speech to the UN today, Trump threatened to totally destroy North Korea. What effect will Trump's threat have on Kim Jong Un?
You will be twisting the boat even more, but it's a gold boat. It's like a chain of gold. He will tell his people that that's the way it is, that they want to control them. The USA want to control them. He is sending the message, we have to start because United States is making us to. But on the other hand, I think it will have such a negative effect on USA.
Well, in essence, it's like Trump is provoking him instead of,
Yeah, but I think it will... It's like the clock, the sand clock. It's making them slimmer. They are twisting the chain around it. I think that's the answer to the question. They are waiting for the time, and I think the time is clicking because the hourglass, and they will be chain like squeezing themselves.
the chain is around the middle of the hourglass.
Yeah. So the time is coming for them. They are not afraid of the sanctions as much. It's like it's full on the bottom, it will be full of the sand, so the time is clicking.
Okay, we'll go on. Will Kim Jong Un inevitably be motivated to accept a military freeze as an interim measure toward denuclearization?
Again, I had that game that kids are playing
On the seesaw.
Seesaw, yeah. No, he will negotiate. It is the leverage that he will have on something and on another. So if you want this, it will have that effect. I think he's prepared for that. So it's like children playing the seesaw.
On the seesaw, yeah.
And it's straight, and it was moving, so it looks like I can negotiate with you because when I'm down, you are up, and you can't do anything when you are up. So two parties will have to play.
In order for peace to prevail, what assurances does Kim Jong Un want?
Oh boy.
What does he seek?
Plane traveling. Hold me. Yeah, because it's dividing something. It's dividing by 4. And the plane it's not an army plane, it's a regular plane, airlines. He wants more freedom. He wants more freedom. I grew up in communistic country. For us to be free, it was ability to go to the West, and it was not for everyone. So the freedom was always connected with flying or traveling. I think he wants to have some freedom, and divided by 4, he might want to divide North and South Korea. He might want to have something from South Korea. He might want to gain something of South Korea that South Korea has. And it wouldn't be good for the South Koreans. But that's his goal. He's envy them that they have everything what his country doesn't have. But on top of, but what he has a regime. And they have the freedom of traveling. It was the divider. He wants to change some rules. At least I understand that way. And the plane was the airlines going towards Japan. Unless I don't understand that's the right way, but I think the plane was symbol of traveling. Not in a big amount of travels, but some connection with the West and some subdivision on his, because it was mapped like South and North Korea and it was divided by 4. So he wants to divide the country. He wants some part of South Korea probably. Put cross on the country, something that he wouldn't let someone else to take advantage of. Maybe even he might tell Americans to go away from South Korea. I don't know what that cross, because it was divided. The country was divided by 4 pieces, not North and South. I don't understand everything.
Hold on. No doubt China is a major player in finding a peaceful solution. What will China demand in return for its role?
Contracts. It was a lot of papers, tons of papers. I thought first that those are money, but it was like contracts. They want, well, the West is already sitting in China's pockets. They are the monster without showing the horns. They are big. They control the world now. No country will survive if they will close the borders with China. No one will survive. Everything is made in China.
That's a little harsh. I mean,
everything
it'll get hard, but it will survive.
No, you know how hard it will be if you can't buy any equipment for the hospitals, you can't buy any needles, you can't buy shoes, you can't buy anything. Everything is made in China. Come on. We don't pay the attention, but every government from every country let the China to be the producer of their products.
Well, yeah, we got really greedy and
many years ago, I had a talk with one customer. It was 15 years ago, and I said to him, you know, they are letting everything to be produced in China. It's like you are a farmer and you are too lazy to clean the eggs, so you're going to a neighbor for the clean eggs because you are too lazy.
Yeah.
So it's the same solution. They let everything to be produced in. You can't even buy shoelaces. You can't buy anything. Hardly.
Will Trump be prepared to give in to all these demands from North Korea and China? a heavy question.
And it's a heavy chain on his neck. And it's a black chain on his neck. Squeezing. It's like not even Rockstar will have that big chain on his neck. They are holding him on a leash. They will hold him on a leash. He can't really say too much to China. He is jumping and jumping to everyone, but honestly, he has no choice.
Okay, we got a couple minutes left. What do you see in the future for North Korea? What is in North Korea's future?
The sun is started to rise. China is the country of rising sun.
China, yeah. Yeah.
I think they will be kind of very close to China. China wants to take control over North Korea. That's what I see. I don't know what that symbol means exactly, but it was the sun was moving up in the sky.
Okay, I got a quick question here. It just came to me. The reason that we're in this position is because we bought from a country that doesn't comply by human rights.
You're talking about China?
Well, China, yeah. We get our stuff made by people that are being used pretty much as slaves. And China doesn't pay their people very much, so it's easy and it's affordable to make everything there. Will the next world war be to end or to create human rights equal throughout the world so that no one has this sort of leverage
That would be
anymore?
terrible. That would be.
Well, it'd be terrible if we're working in diapers out here.
I don't know. I see lights, set of lights here, there. It's like a tunnel. There is no end of the tunnel. The lights are in tunnel on the sides, but I don't see the end of the tunnel. That wouldn't be a good answer either. Third war wouldn't change that much. The lights were on the side of the tunnel, like when you're going through the tunnels, you see the lights, but there was no end of the tunnel.
What's the best way to defeat North Korea?
Accept the picture of Kim Jong Un, because it was his picture on a building. They have to accept him the way he is. He has the strong cards in his hands. That's my feeling. That was not in the vision, but it was his picture on a building. They have to accept him the way he is. He is very strong. And don't take me wrong, but I don't think he's stupid. He's very smart. He might be cruel, but he's smart. No one said anything about him doing anything crazy, like calling names or whatever.
Trump seems to be separating the states from the rest of the world, and
That's true.
And kind of separating the people within his own country. Will there be someone that comes around that unites the free world again?
Yeah. The flowers are starting blooming, and there is a heart on top of it. So there will be someone who will be able to 4 flowers, flat sunflowers, and then the heart, image of the heart on top of it. Someone will be able to reunite it. On one side there was 1 flower, and 3 flowers were on another side. The sunflowers were looking towards the sun, flat way. Not this way, this flat way, looking to the sun. And instead of sun, there was a heart. I think you were right. Someone will, not that you were right, but you asked the question, and that will be the positive answer eventually. Someone will have to come and with the heart and reunite the country. Because Trump is making only enemies around the world. Like, I can't understand how someone be proud of making everyone enemy.
Yeah.
Okay, are we done?
Just for fun, one more question. What was the FBI looking for when they raided Paul Manafort's home?
The opening the black book on him. It's a really huge black book. And they are going like a lot of pages. It's a heavy, heavy book. They know a lot about him, and they won't just prove it. There is a lot of dirty stuff about him. And it was like ledge book, so it huge ledge books for business, so it's like going backwards many years backwards, and it was black. Ledger's books are usually black, but they have a lot of, and it was so heavy, so there is so much heaviness.
So they found what they were looking for? Did they find what they were looking for?
Some things were shredded. It's like the tool for shredding something, the old-fashioned, like for making macaroni, kind of, with few cutting stuff. So not everything they were able to find in his house, because that's what you were asking.
Yeah.
Because some things were shredded.
What about his storage unit?
There was a lot of shelves, but I see them empty. I don't know if there was enough good information on those storages, in that storage.
Okay, well let's end on this question. What do you see in America's future?
Oh, that's a big question.
Right?
Okay. Standing on the edge of the cliff right now. It doesn't look too good. You didn't want that answer, but that's what I see. Edge of the cliff, and it's a huge cliff. I think we will stop because I don't want people to be upset too much with the negativity. Okay, are we done?
If we got to end on a positive note or something. Like...
Okay, so find something positive. Well, the positive was that someone will reunite the country eventually. But it's a huge cliff.
Will America be a shining beacon of hope again?
That's not... There will be still center, but it's not a big center. There will be a lot of satellites going around it, so they will be in the middle, but they are losing the power of being the center of the world. The positive, and that's not as positive as you want to be.
If they get rid of Trump right away, is there a chance for America?
Yeah, there is an elevator, but something has to go down. And when I was holding the hands, I thought that there are people who are thinking about killing him because he is very uncomfortable. So there are probably some plans to, and I don't want to bring them, but that came to my mind this moment, that there is some conspiracy that he is holding country as a hostage, kind of.
I don't want to see him dead, but they gotta get rid of that idiot.
Don't say that. Don't say that. You know, I don't teach you to be like that.
I'll cut that out.
Okay. But you do. Thank you so much for watching us. And thank you for subscribing. And thank you for your comments. It's really time-consuming for me to answer them, and I have to understand sometimes some of your comments, but thank you very much. We appreciate your contact with us. Bye-bye.